Hey guys, welcome back to the Atlas Masterclass. Today we're in the Caribbean and we're going to make Barramundi Escabeche with coconut rice. So this dish here, really full of flavour. So awesome dish, really fun technique, something that's really easy to recreate. So these vegetables just like sweet and sour and super tasty. We've got the barramundi, we're going to get a really nice skin on there, so getting a beautiful colour. And this fish cooking technique is one that I'm really looking forward to teaching everyone, and it's something that a lot of people get it a little bit wrong with fish. They start cooking it and then it can stick to the pan and you lose the skin. So, fingers crossed, but let's make sure this fish is super crispy, golden and absolutely delicious. Then we're going to boil some rice for 8 minutes. So I've washed that rice 3 times. So that means just in a strainer under some water, moving it around and letting that starch fall off. So the rice is clean, and I'm just going to boil that first. And then we've got all these wonderful ingredients. So I've got some chopped onion. So that chopped onion will be cooked with also our chopped capsicum. So I just thread those up really nicely. Everything's similar size. Then with the tomato, I take the core out of the tomato. So cutting it into quarters, taking that core out. I keep the core, and that's going to be for the sauce. And then that outside, I shred that up so it looks very much like the onion and capsicum. And then we've got some chopped parsley, bit of vinegar, bit of salt, bit of sugar, and let's get cooking. So now we're going to start by cooking the barramundi. So I get some oil into the pan. I've preheated the pan so it's over a sort of medium heat, and I might just turn it up a bit. So with this, it's really about managing the fish as you cook it, and that's the key to getting this right. So I've got my beautiful piece of barramundi here, straight in like so, making it really nice and flat on the pan. Nice sprinkle of salt, so salt, always cooking with it as you go, not just always just adding it at the end. And then this is the trick that really makes this dish work, and it's putting a plate on top of your fish. So as you put something in a pan, it will always sort of shrink. So if you put the plate on top, it will press it down, keeping that skin nice and straight along the bottom of the pan, and it gets it so crispy. So we're going to be managing that as we cook, and then we'll be monitoring once we've got a nice crispiness level, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Then we'll know when it's time to flip the fish, and never before. And for any one of our return travellers, you've seen me cook rice before, but I've washed it 3 times. I put the rice in and I boil it for 8 minutes. So now to make the dressing, I get my red wine vinegar, tomatoes, and with the tomatoes, I just give them a really good squeeze. So that's the centre of the tomato, you're just getting any juice out of it. Just like so, and I get rid of this sort of bigger pieces. Then I go in with some sugar, like so. And it looks like a lot of sugar, touch of salt in here as well. And then that sauce there, I'm going to let that sit, and I'm going to strain that through over the fish, over the onion and the capsicum once it's cooked. So now let's check our fish. Now I take our weight off the fish, so you can use a bowl, a lid, honestly whatever you want to use for that technique. And then now is the moment of truth. So you feel along the side, and if the fish isn't releasing from the pan yet, I know that it's not cooked or it's not golden on that side, because what will happen is once it's nice and crispy, it will release from the pan because it will no longer be sticky, it will be crunchy, and that's when you know when to flip it. So I'm just gonna, at this stage, don't panic and just keep cooking. So now my fish is released from the pan, so you can see I can so easily get it out in one piece. Skin doesn't stick, and then I just flip it over, and look at that, the skin is just perfectly crispy on the top. I'm just gonna quickly finish it on the other side, very briefly. So now to make the sauce, I go in with the onion and the capsicum and just give that a really nice toss. So this sauce is a really quick cook. You want to go nice and hot pan, cook it really fast, and then you're going to add in the vinegar as well as that tomato liquid. Our rice should almost be ready as well. And now our rice is ready as well to strain. So I just take that off like so, letting that sit there and just air drying. The onion and capsicum are almost ready. So now I add in my tomato water, straining that off. Taking that off to the side now. Pinch of salt, in with the tomato and in with the parsley. Give that a nice toss. That's our escabeche fish. So sweet, sour, touch of tomato flavour, the onion, the capsicum, the parsley, marry it all together, and now we're ready to serve. So now I've got the rice here, grab my coconut with the chili in there, and I'm just gonna mix it through. So that's our lovely coconut rice, instantly becomes aromatic. And there we are, let's serve this wonderful dish. So I go now on with my rice. So that coconut flavour instantly comes through. The escabeche vegetables. And just say, I love the sauce on this dish, so big flavours from the Caribbean this week. I always get excited when I'm cooking something different, something new. And of course, that ridiculously crispy piece of fish skin like that, finished with some parsley. And that there is our ticket to the Caribbean.